The opening coin toss won by the Bengals, so it is Chris Jackie of the Packers who will kick it away, and deep to receive are Carl Pickens, number 80, and number 84, Milt Stegall. And that will be Eric Ball. Eric Ball retreating from an up position to take the kick and down it in the end zone. And so Cincinnati will start with the football at its own 20-yard line. And a look at Esiason's numbers 1 year ago when he functioned in an entirely different offense, looking to get the ball down the field and go over the top. This year, he calls himself the King of the Dink.
King Dink.
Throwing 7- and 8-yard completions to his heart's content. Or at least he'll learn to be contented with it. Bengals have employed the running game to great effect early in the season. It is Pickens in motion on first down, and this is Harold Green, who has been the leading rusher for the Bengals and rips off about an 8-yard gain to start things off before being knocked out of bounds. There's the offensive front for the Bengals, anchored by 11-time Pro Bowl tackle, NFL Man of the Year for 1991, Anthony Munoz. And here are the people they protect. Esiason, Harold Green, he'll be spelled by Derek Fenner from time to time. Eric Ball at fullback. McGee, Pickens, and Holman are the receivers. Pickens getting the start today in place of Reggie Rembert, who is out of the game after having wisdom teeth pulled. On second and short, Esiason throws into the flat, complete to Rodney Holman, and Holman is out across the 40 to about the 42-yard line before Cecil made the stop. Hurry-up offense for the Bengals. No huddle after they pick up the first down. They mark the football all the way out across the 45 at the 48-yard line.
One of the things that Boomer Esiason continues to do, he is probably the best faking quarterback in the National Football League. There you just saw him fake that running play, come up clean, and hit the Holman for the reception.
This time Esiason with the give to Harold Green. Green with a block in front by Eric Ball has another 9 yards into Packer territory near the 45 of the Packers before Johnny Holland made the stop for Green Bay. Front 7 for the Packer defense. Not a lot of big names there, although Holland and Bennett were both high draft choices at the linebacker positions. In the secondary, Billups, Clark, Butler, and Cecil trying to learn a new system instituted by defensive coordinator Ray Rhodes. Last week, they made Vinny Testaverde look like Sammy Ball. Another first down for the Bengals near the 40-yard line of the Pack. And again, it's Harold Green, third carry early in the game, third big gain, this time across the 30 to the 29-yard line. Leroy Butler making the stop for Green Bay.
And talking to defensive coordinator Ray Rhodes of the Green Bay Packers, he said what they wanted to do was to force the Bengals into a passing situation. With the way they're moving the ball right now, they won't have to pass anytime soon because they're just ripping off big chunks of yardage on the ground.
Harold Green, 3 carries for 30 yards already in the game. First down from the 29. Esiason in the flat to Green. Cecil had a chance to make the play, got blocked out of the way, and there's a fumble, and Green Bay has picked it up. With the hit, it was outside linebacker Tony Bennett, and Mike Holmgren gets a reprieve. As on the early drive, Bennett helps to make the play. Brian Noble walks off with the football in his arms. Those two linebackers, for the moment, halting the Bengal offensive momentum.
One of the things that the Green Bay Packer coaching staff talked about last week, their inability to make plays. This is called making a play. You see where they hit Harold Green, strip the ball loose. Once again, Esiason getting a little bit of pressure put on him, fires the ball out to Harold Green. Now watch right here, the ball is knocked loose, and there's Brian Noble who comes up with the ball. That's making a play.
On first down, it is Vince Workman getting the call for the Packers, and Workman, who's been the leading Packer rusher early in the season, has a pickup of a couple on the sweep. It'll be second down 8. Offensive line for the Pack. Veterans Rutgers and Robbins at the tackles, along with Holstrom at guard. That is an experienced offensive front. And the backs and receivers, Mikowski, Workman, and McGee behind him. McGee getting a surprise start today in place of Harry Sidney. Sterling Sharp, Sanjay Beach, and Ed West at the receiver positions. A lot of pressure on Sharp to make the plays, as far and away the preeminent performer there.
He definitely is carrying a load because he is the blue chip receiver that they have, and anytime you only have one, you get double coverage all the time.
7 yards to go on second down. And it is Workman once again with the football, this time dragged down from behind. Hernandez Vinson, the strong safety, up there to make the play, along with number 59, Kevin Walker. And you look at the Bengal defense, anchored around nose tackle Tim Crumry, coming home to Wisconsin today, where he played at the University of Wisconsin and grew up in Eau Claire, has a lot of friends and family. Inside linebacker Ricardo McDonald, a rookie out of Pitt, getting the start today, as Ray Bentley is gone for the season with knee ligament injuries. Rod Jones, Eric Thomas, Barney Bussey, and Fernandez Vincent in the secondary for the Bengals.
We talk about Tim Crumry. We asked him about him the other day, and he said he's back. You know, he's been hurt the last couple of years, but they say he's back to his all-pro form, which is bad news for every offense that he goes against.
4 wide receivers. Kittrick Taylor was the man in motion. They throw out of the backfield to Workman. He's going to be knocked out of bounds short of the first down. Rookie linebacker Ricardo McDonald, number 56, was over to help make the play. So Makowski has 3 and off in his first possession for the Pack. And Paul McJulian, who's been struggling a little bit, making solid contact, comes on to kick it away for Mike Holmgren's team.
Paul McJulian, the punter, his nickname, Jim, is Hang Time.
Well, if you're going to be a punter, that's the one you want, right?
That's right.
It is number 80, Carl Pickens, who's deep to receive for the Bengals, and McJulian makes big contact this time. Ball bouncing inside the 10. It was available for a moment to be downed, but number 47, Roland Mitchell, couldn't get to the football for the Pack. 67-yard boot for hang time, McJulian. The last first-round draft choice to sign a contract in the NFL this year was the man on the left of your screen there, Terrell Buckley. Led the nation in interceptions with 12 picks for the Florida State Seminoles a year ago. Signed on September 11. Just practiced with the team this week. Hopes to play today, Ahmad.
He said that the first day out in practice, they threw everything at him. They were running reverses and halfback passes, everything. He said they beat him for a little while, but before practice was over, he got a pick, ran it back for a touchdown. He feels right at home. He wants to play right away.
He counts those picks. I said, so you have 11 interceptions as a senior. He said 12.
That's right. He corrected you before you even finished.
That would be 12, Jim. On first down, the Bengals have a completion to Jim Riggs. Tight end number 87 coming off the line of scrimmage. Take the catch from Boomer Esiason. Tony Bennett makes the stop for Green Bay. It'll be second down, long yardage for the Bengals.
If you are a quarterback, young quarterback, Boomer Esiason is the best at hiding that football. He really carries out his fakes, which makes his offense go.
They got a 5-yard pickup on the pass to Riggs. Harold Green trying to get outside again, and this time it is number 50, Johnny Holland, who chased Green toward the sideline and made the stop for Green Bay.
The running backs play such a major role in this new offense of the Cincinnati Bengals. That's why I'm sure you're going to see Derek Finner spending quite a bit of time in that backfield, because Harold Green has touched that ball 4 or 5 times already in the first part of this football game. And as that goes, you could get that guy worn down, but they keep keeping him fresh by spelling him with Derek Finner. Third down 4, and a chance for the Packer defense to build a little confidence by forcing a punt here. Esiason down the middle, though. Wide open is Tim McGee, number 85. Vinnie Clark was the man there with the coverage, and a flag is down as both teams walk back toward the original line of scrimmage. Looks like it will be a holding call. That's another break for the Pack.
Holding. Offense, number 63. 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. Third down.
It's a major adjustment for the offensive line. They get into a rhythm when you come out running the ball. They get to fire out every time on the defensive line. Then all of a sudden when you go to passing, it's a different rhythm. If you talk to an offensive lineman, they'd much rather run the ball than pass the ball, because when you run the ball, you're hitting as opposed to getting hit.
Now the Bengals will go out of the shotgun spread on third down and long yardage from the 17-yard line. Esiason looking to his left and throws it into the hands of Vinnie Clark. And Clark, who has had trouble making plays early this season, misses the chance for an easy pick and a potential touchdown. It was Matt Brock who put the pressure on Esiason.
This is exactly what Ray Rhodes talked about. You've got to be able to make the play. You get yourself in a position to make the play, you got to come up with that interception. Rather than them punting, all of a sudden maybe you got the ball down inside the 10.
And The noise you hear as Lee Johnson comes on to kick it away for the Bengals is the cheer for that man, number 27, Terrell Buckley. Makes his first appearance on the field in a Packer uniform.
And already the team has nicknamed him Thorpe.
Because he's the new Jim Thorpe, isn't he?
Jim Thorpe.
By his own candid admission. Buckley refuses to call the fair catch, gets a little room back near his 30, and gets his first NFL hit.
Welcome to the NFL, Terrell Buckley.
50-yard punt, a 2-yard return for Buckley, and the newest Packer has arrived to no immediate effect. It's 0-0. 9 minutes, 18 seconds left in the first quarter as Don Majkowski brings the Packers out for their second possession. Cincinnati has moved the football, but has seen both of its possessions foiled by a lost fumble and a holding penalty. On 1st and 10 from the 35, Vince Workman gets the call for Green Bay and has a pickup of about 3 yards before Alex Gordon, number 58, made the stop for the Bengals.
And Don Majkowski playing it pretty close to the vest. He was telling us the other day that he would like to be able to throw the ball deep, but he just doesn't have the horses to get deep. You only have one receiver that is an all-pro quality and really not a real big speed burner. It's very hard to throw that ball deep. So he's got to adjust into this new offense and be able to be accurate and spread the ball around to his medium receivers.
When Holmgren made the switch from Majkowski to Favre a week ago, he did it at halftime. On 2nd and 7, Majkowski throws, it's batted, and the Bengals are unable to get hold of the football. There's a flag down in the offensive backfield area from where Majkowski released the ball. His throwing motion, to me, Ahmad, looks tentative.
Pass
I think it is.
Receiver number 65 in the back, loss of down, 3rd down.
I think it is tentative, Jim. I think he's really not real comfortable in this offense yet. You see Majkowski here trying to hit an underneath receiver and ends up hitting his tackle in the back with the football.
That was Ron Hallstrom who caught the football in the numbers from the backside, and that amounts to an incompleted pass, and 3rd down, 7 yards to go for the Packers. Need to get the football to the 45-yard line for a first down. 4 wide receivers. Majkowski under pressure and goes down. And it is number 69, Tim Krumrie, the nose tackle, who is there to lead the charge. And there are fisticuffs. And Majkowski appears hurt. Oh, Majkowski's in great pain, Ahmad, as this scuffle goes on behind him.
And when you remember yesterday when we were talking to Majkowski, and I told him the worst thing that could happen to him is if he ever got hurt. Here you'll see Majkowski, and you'll see this attacking defense of the Cincinnati Bengals. Krumrie coming on the inside. Majkowski trying to step up, and there's Krumrie right on his ankle.
Yeah.
It looks like he turned his ankle up underneath Krumrie, and that left ankle. Here's another look at it. Watch Majkowski as he sets up and tries to step up into the pocket. You'll see Krumrie, number 69, get a hold of that left leg right there, and then come down on that ankle.
And then Alonzo Mitz, number 99, falls on top of it as well. So with the weight of 2 men on his left leg, and with the leg being twisted into an awkward position, Majkowski got hurt.
There is another man. Watch, right there's Krumrie coming down right on that ankle. And I'm certain that that's either a bad sprain or Majkowski now being carried off the field. I think that might be it for him today. And in comes
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre will be the next quarterback.
Well, they're going to make do without a stretcher for the moment for Majkowski. Obviously, he'll go directly to the locker room for x-rays. And Paul McJulian comes on to kick the football away for Green Bay as they reach 4th down. So Favre will now have a chance to confer on the telephones with offensive coaches upstairs and try to develop a concept as he waits for his turn to move the football.
Well, Favre told us that he got a little bit of playing time last week, and it was catchy. He said, once I played a little bit, now I want to play a lot. So he will have his opportunity because of Majkowski with that injured ankle.
Will it ever be 1989 again for the Magic Man, Don Majkowski? Does not appear likely for the moment. McJulian's first punt, 67 yards, was the longest of his 2-year NFL career. This one is shorter. Pickens takes it at the 30. Tries to get outside, but stumbles and goes down at the 33-yard line. Number 91, Brian Noble, downfield to lead the coverage. just a few days after he had been rumored headed to Los Angeles for Marcus Allen. It didn't happen.
Here is a look at Don Majkowski as he injured his left ankle. You see Tim Krumrie, number 69, coming down on the ankle right there, dragging an ankle up underneath him and just twist it. And the effect is Majkowski comes out, couldn't put any weight on the ankle, and now he's still being looked at. And as you can see, he's still in a lot of pain over there.
The seeds of another potential season of frustration for Don Majkowski. Hadn't been the same since '89 when he went to the Pro Bowl and was second in the voting for most valuable player in the league behind Joe Montana. Now on first down, the Bengals. Harold Green with the football, and Green has a couple. Out to the 35-yard line. It'll be second down 8. The Bengals to this point in the game, 62 yards of total offense. Only 4 yards thus far for the Packers. On second and 8 with no huddle, Esiason brings them up.
Big play out there, let's go! Tight end, tight end, tight end!
Boomer looks deep, throws underneath, it's batted and picked off. Johnny Holland, number 50, leaping into the air to make the grab for the Packers. The Bengals are pointing their way, insisting that Holland fumbled the ball back to them, but officials are going to rule it dead prior to the fumble and give Green Bay the football at the 45-yard line. It was Matt Brock, number 62, who batted the pass into the air, and Johnny Holland, number 50, who picked it up.
The Packers, listening to their coach Ray Rose, realizing in order to stay in business in the NFL, you have got to make plays. Here you'll see Esiason drop back the pass. He's got a lot of time. And he's trying to get the ball to Holman coming across the middle. The ball is tipped, bounced up in the air, caught by Holland, and on the way down, it appeared that he fumbled the ball, but the official was right there on top of the play. Once again, Esiason trying to go deep. The ball is batted up in the air. Holland picks it off, and it's first down Green Bay.
And here's second-year quarterback Brett Favre out of Southern Mississippi by way of the Atlanta Falcons. He cost the Packers a first-round draft choice. They are hopeful he can succeed in the NFL. Favre completes in the flat to Sterling Sharp, and Sharp, with his first catch of the game, is knocked out by Eric Thomas after a gain of about 7 or 8 yards.
And this crowd coming alive when all of a sudden Favre comes in and hits his first reception to that man right there.
Who with that
Sterling
catch
Sharp
has now caught a pass in 58 consecutive games, tying James Lofton, the all-time Packer record for catches in consecutive games.
I think the record he'd like to tie is longevity in the league of James Lofton, who's been playing for what, 25 years?
Yeah, that's right. Ever since you and I were small children.
I think 15 years.
Workman on second down is close to first down yardage at the 35-yard line.
And talking about Brett Favre, when I asked Ron Wolf about him, he said he's just like Billy Kilmer. He's a leader. He's a wild guy. And as you can see, it looks like this offense really responds to Brett Favre. He's one of these guys that loves to play football. He's just a gunslinger, gets out there and gives it all he's got. From Kill, Mississippi. He said there's an N on the end of the Kill, but you don't pronounce it. You just say Kill.
I always called it quarterback personality. Majkowski has it too. So does Boomer Esiason. It's a kind of forgivable self-centeredness that gives you a chance to root for the guy while still respecting his command and presence.
Yeah, the only place in society, I guess, that works is on a football field.
Yeah. Or maybe broadcasting.
Yeah. That's right.
The guy who stands in the center of the arena and says, "Look at me."
That's right.
Mike Holmgren doesn't want all that many people looking at him until they win a football game. Double tight end, 2 fullbacks behind Favre on third down now and inches. Harry Sidney and Buford McGee both in the football game at the setbacks. They are the 2 power backs on the roster for Green Bay. And Favre with a quarterback sneak. Looking to pick up the easy first down yardage, and I think he got it across the 35 to first down territory.
And talking about Favre, we were talking to Holmgren yesterday, and he said, this guy is so brassy. He throws the worst interception that he's ever seen. And usually when a quarterback does that, he goes off the field way away from the coach. But what happened was Favre throws the interception and walks right over to Holmgren and said, so what about that pass, coach?
And Holmgren said, don't talk to me for a little while. Go talk to Mariucci, the quarterback coach. He'll tell you what he thought of it. Favre says, okay, all right. Where's Steve?
A lot of enthusiasm.
First down of the football game for the Packers. Vince Workman with a big hole across the 30. And near another first down at the 26-yard line before Barney Bussey, the strong safety, knocked him out of bounds.
Good running by Workman, who hit that hole going like 90 going north. Just a straight handoff from Favre, and White makes a nice cut here, breaks it to the outside, and picks up some extra yards here. Good blocking by number 84, Sterling Sharp, who set him loose there on that play. He's an excellent blocking wide receiver.
Got an early block from number 31, Buford McGee, and then the follow-up block downfield from Sharp. 9 yards, second down 1. Favre gives to Workman again, and he's got a first down across the 20 to about the 19-yard line. Again, the ball trickled loose, but again, it was after the play had been blown dead. Tim Krumrie making the tackle for the Bengals.
Mikowski now icing that ankle down. I don't think we're going to see him again. The word we get up here is he's got a badly sprained ankle, and you can see he's in a lot of pain there, probably emotionally as well as physically, because he really wanted to play in this game to show what he could actually do. And I'm sure that, you know, he's had 2 or 3 years of nothing but injury, just a lot of bad luck.
He was spitting nails yesterday, still 6 days later, about having been yanked in the Tampa Bay game at halftime. Really wanted to prove something today, won't get the chance. First and 10, 7th carry of the game now for Workman of Green Bay. He had 6 carries for 24 yards. Now make it 7 carries for 27 yards, and it'll be second down 7 for the Packers.
The easiest thing to do for an offensive line in terms of learning is just to fire out and run the ball. I think where they get confused, and especially with an attacking defense like that, if you set back and pass, you have so many different combinations of linemen and linebackers coming at you that it takes too much mental energy to pick it all up. So what you do is you just line up and just keep firing out, and sort of nullifies the defense. And that's what the Packers have done in this drive.
4 wide receivers in the game for the Pack on second down 7. But they give the ball to the lone setback. Workman fumbles the football. And number 87 of Cincinnati, who tried to pick it up and run with it, is Daniel Stubbs, 67, who tried to pick it up and run with it and wound up giving it back to Green Bay. Textbook illustration of why you don't want to try to pick the fumble up and run with it if you have any doubt whatsoever.
And once again, here's Workman, who has been the Workman in this load. Watch Krumrie. He just gets that arm around there, knocks that ball loose. There you go. That's just what you're talking about. Stubbs trying to just pick that ball up and trying to run with it when he should have just fallen on it. But this is what happened to Green Bay last week. They gave away a couple of touchdowns by putting the ball on the ground.
It was a loss of 8. It'll be third down now and 15 yards to go. Ball is at the 25. They need to get it to the 10 for a first down. Triple wide. Favre fakes the draw and gives to Vince Workman. And Workman gets outside of one tackler and gets to within 4 yards of the first down. Sterling Sharp again with the downfield block. Rookie Darrell Williams in the game at free safety for the Bengals made the stop.
Excellent move by Workman to get away from being dropped for a loss with that little spin move and then taken off down the sideline, which gets him in position to try to kick a field goal.
That's the second great run block downfield by Sterling Sharp. What an all-around football player he is.
He really is. He does it all well. He's a great receiver, he can run well after the catch. He blocks. He stays involved in the offense. That keeps everybody else involved in the offense.
Fourth-year kicker Chris Jackie out of Texas El Paso is perfect on the early season. 3 of 3. This one will be from 32 yards. And it is wide left. So it won't be a perfect season for Chris Jackie. And the Packers treated to opportunity by the generous Bengal offense. After 2 Cincinnati turnovers, it's still 0-0. Back live in Green Bay, 2:21 to go in the first quarter, the missed kick.
You see, Jackie, I was down on the field earlier. There are swirling winds down there. He said sometimes that does bother you, but as you look at this kick, it just looked like he just shanked this one. Yeah, he just flat out missed it. Nothing to do with the wind. Bad kick on Jackie's part.
He'll have some of them. They all do. First down from the 20 for the Bengals. And wide open in the flat is Eric Ball, the fullback. Flag down as Ball makes it all the way across the 40 to the 44-yard line before Vinnie Clark made the stop for Green Bay. It's going to be a hold against the Bengals.
This is the worst penalty in football for an offensive team. I mean, it just sets you, you're out of business. You have a great play like that one.
Holding. Offense, number 64, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. First down.
You have a great play like that last one. Everybody gets all excited. You're running down the field, and all of a sudden you find that yellow flag, and you got to start over, and it's 1st and 20 as opposed to 1st and 10 way up the field.
2 holding penalties now for the Bengals. And we'll see if they can get out from under this one. And no, Johnny Holland has his second pick of the game as Boomer Esiason waits, looks for Holland, picks him out, and hits him in the hands.
That ball was thrown right at Holland. I don't know if there was a miscommunication in the receiver, maybe supposed to come back, but I tell you what, all he had to do was put his hands up for that one.
Well, the intended receiver was Carl Pickens, and it's almost as though Boomer waited for Holland to get into the flow.
There you see Boomer firing the ball out, and Pickens, not the receiver, instead is Holland. And all of a sudden, Green Bay with a couple of huge plays to keep themselves knocking at the door here.
Johnny Holland says, I want to play against Boomer all year. I can lead this league in interceptions. I know it. He's got 2 in the first quarter. And now Brett Favre with another opportunity on first down from the 23-yard line. Looking for Sterling Sharp. And that's almost an interception right there.
It looked like Eric Thomas was holding Sterling Sharp because there was a little bit, they had some, here you see Sterling Sharp, just a little bit of a, it's a fade pattern. Watch him try to get away. There's Thomas. And you see that, that looks to me like holding.
Yeah, that's one extra grab. The first one's legal.
First one's legal. It's a nice bump right in front of him, but once Sterling gets behind him, you can't grab the receiver, and that's what happened. Thomas just reached out and grabbed him. Smart play by Thomas because he avoided the touchdown.
And got away with it.
Got away with it. That's a good play by Thomas.
Second down 10 for the Packers. Sharp in motion back toward the ball. Favre looks in the flat and throws it off the hands of Harry Sidney, number 42.
Wise move by Harry Sidney letting that ball go, because if he'd have caught it, he had about 5 Cincinnati Bengals right in front of him, and I don't think he dances well enough to get by those boys.
He'd have been taking his football life in his hands.
That's right.
There's a look at what the Packers have done after having twice taken the football away from the Bengals prior to now. Now they have the 3rd takeaway.
They're not a good enough team to not come out of these turnovers with points. You have got to score points here because they're not that good of a football team to be able to just miss those opportunities.
3rd down 10. Favre fumbles the football on the snap, and the Bengals have it back, and it's going to be another missed opportunity for Green Bay. Officials haven't ruled yet, but the Bengals are running off the field, and indeed it is their football. And of course, anytime, as you look at Mike Holmgren talking to the men upstairs, he knows that anytime you substitute a quarterback, you're going to see this every once in a while.
You got to realize that Brett Favre has been taking snaps from the 2nd-string center. This is the first time or the second time in game situation that he's really got a chance to try to get some continuity going with the center. Therefore, you have a problem right on the snap. I'm sure that they'll take care of that, but that's something that's going to happen because he just hasn't had a chance to take enough snaps from the 1st-string center.
And there's the man who recovered the football, Wisconsin's own Tim Krumrie. Now he has forced 2 fumbles, knocked Mikowski out of the game with the tackle that apparently has damaged Mikowski's ankle, and is generally having one of his career games.
He's back. Tim Krumrie.
Well, that injury he suffered in the Super Bowl a few years ago was a beast.
Oh, it really was. And for him to come back from that injury is just, something in itself. Everybody thought that he was through. Even when I saw him play a year ago, I figured he was done. I figured wrong.
Ahmad, is he storing something in his trousers there? Rosin or something, so he can hold on to the ball, right? First down.
He certainly had his hand on the ball enough times.
First down from the 21-yard line, and the so far fortunate Bengals get Harold Green some running room again. First down yardage for Green across the 30. Leroy Butler made the stop.
This is the first time I've had a chance to see Harold Green. I've heard so much about him, but he is the real deal. He is a guy that has that breakaway capabilities. They had Ickey Woods last year who really couldn't break the long one. If you watch Harold Green, much better in the wide open field and always a scoring threat.
6 carries for 48 yards already in the ball game for Harold Green. It's been a long first quarter. A lot of possessions for both teams. We had a quarter last week in which each team had the ball once. Houston and Indianapolis, right? What a difference a week makes. First and 10, ball all the way out at the 40 after the 17-yard pickup for Harold Green. Breaking the tackle, and Green almost to the 50-yard line. Fans thought they saw the ball pop loose one more time, but no, and Chuck Cecil, number 26, the free safety, made the stop for Green Bay.
Harold Green, the perfect size, 6'2", 222 pounds.
Third-year player out of South Carolina.
Where has he been hiding? Because he is just a whale of a ball carrier.
Second down short. Safety Esiason has a little leeway here. Gives the ball to Green. And this time the Packer defense reacts. Number 91, Brian Noble was there. Number 95, Bryce Paup. And number 36, also ranging up, was Leroy Butler to help out on the play.
Excellent defensive play by the Green Bay Packers by stringing this play out. Harold Green, with no place to turn the play back into the left, just gets stretched out. And Bryce Paup makes the play and brings him down for a bit of a loss.
Yeah, you saw Butler coming up from the strong safety to help string the play out, and that ran him right into Paup. So now, 2nd and 1 becomes 3rd down 4 after a loss of 3. And Esiason out of the shotgun, looks in the flat and has a wide open Tim McGee. And McGee has the first down into Bengal territory before Leroy Butler makes the stop for Green Bay.
There are a few quarterbacks in this league where interceptions don't bother them at all. And that's the way you got to be. You throw an interception, you got to come right back and throw it again. And that's what Boomer Esiason did.
And that'll be the end of the first quarter. So the Bengals, having given the football away 3 times to Green Bay, have survived level at 0. We bring you back to one of the great shrines of American football, sold out with 56,000 fans, Lambeau Field. On first down for the Bengals from the 43-yard line, they begin the second quarter in Green Bay territory. Harold Green, who's been ripping off big chunks of yardage, this time is wrapped up for no gain by Matt Brock, a one-time Fighting Duck from the University of Oregon. We have a special affection for them because of Ahmad's familial relationship with the U of O. And there's Makowski, his numbers from early in the football game, and he's standing up trying to put some weight on that left leg.
Once you sprain an ankle, it's just there's so many ligaments in that ankle area. It's just very hard, and it takes a long time to heal. And I'm very glad that you said Fighting Ducks rather than just Ducks.
No, I've learned they are the Fighting Ducks because you're still fighting. Esiason down the middle, diving catch by Tim McGee at the 22-yard line. Big gainer for Cincinnati.
And Tim McGee we talked to last night, and we were talking to him about all those dink passes. He said, well, I think that we got something in the game plan tomorrow where we can go deep. You see McGee running just an up route, stretching the defense, and then bringing it across the middle. Big, huge gap in that zone, and McGee finding it.
On first down, Harold Green with the football gets near the 20-yard line. Johnny Holland makes the stop for Green Bay. You know, you talked about the emotion of visiting players coming into Lambeau Field. Circumstantial evidence would be that it favors the visiting player more than the home Packers. They have a miserable winning percentage here over the course of the past 6 years.
I think that's exactly right. The Packers get used to playing here. When you come in here as a visiting team, then you do get very excited about playing. A very knowledgeable crowd.
And you're lining up against Herb Adderley, and Willie Wood is right behind him at free safety.
All the great names in the top of the stadium, you can't help but affect you.
Second down, 8 yards to go now for Cincinnati. Esiason with time, throws in the flat, and number 44, Derek Fenner, on the field for the first time to spell Harold Green. Has a little bit of yardage inside the 15 to about the 14. Johnny Holland again making the stop for the Pack.
I found it interesting talking to Tim McGee about playing against Lewis Billups. He said he played against him so many times because they were teammates. In the past, he said, I know everything that he doesn't like to do. The bad thing about that, he knows everything that I don't want to do either.
It is third down, 2 yards to go. The ball at the 14-yard line. Fenner is the lone setback behind Esiason. Derek Fenner with the football and the hole, and the first down across the 10 to the 9-yard line. Chuck Cecil made the stop for Green Bay.
And there you see the second part of David Shula's hammer time offense. Derek Fenner, who led the AFC in total touchdowns in 1990 with 15. He is a punishing runner, and they really give you the 1-2 punch with Green and Fenner.
And now they got first and goal just inside the 10-yard line. Esiason calling the play at the line of scrimmage. 3 tight ends on the field for Cincinnati. Fenner again pounding off the right side, again with a hole all the way down to the 2-yard line. Nightmare for the defense. You face a big, agile back in Green. Here comes a bigger back in Fenner.
It's just a 1-2 punch. It's almost like a boxer setting you up with the 1 punch to the stomach, and then they bring that other guy in and it takes it right to your chin. That's Derek Fenner, and we know he knows how to find that goal line.
12th play of the drive for Cincinnati. This time sticking mostly to the ground, although the key play in the drive was the big pass down the middle from Esiason to Tim McGee. And now, with noise at this end of the end zone, Brian Noble trying to get the fans to participate and make it tough for Esiason to call the play. And he gives to Fenner, who's knocked down by Leroy Butler.
Johnny Holland made a very nice play, slashing through to make Fenner turn that ball back inside. And Holland is having quite a game out here today. He's already got 2 interceptions.
Tough call, third and goal from the 4. Esiason gets to make the play call himself. As no substitute comes onto the field, they go with no hurry. So let's see what the Boomer likes best in his offense for a third and goal at the 4. He gives the play directly to Fenner. They're in the 3 tight end set. Pickens is the lone wide receiver to the bottom of your screen. They're going to run it. And Fenner is wrapped up by Johnny Holland. Holland having a big game for Green Bay is there along with Brian Noble and Chuck Cecil to foil the best laid plans of Boomer Esiason.
The Green Bay Packer defense stiffening up down here and turning the Bengals away from scoring a touchdown.
And I'm a little surprised that he elected to run on third down and goal from the 4.
Well, when you got that hammer time, that hammer offense, you got to go at what you do best. It's almost a confidence builder. You should be able to get in there. If you don't go for it, it sort of takes the confidence away from your offensive team.
Jim Breach to try the 20-yard field goal. Lee Johnson holds. Johnson gets it down, and Breach knocks it through. So at the same end where Chris Jackie missed wide to the left, Breach didn't appear to make all that perfect contact with the football, but got it through there. The Bengals lead 3-0. Lee Johnson puts the football on the tee and prepares to kick it off for the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals, having taken advantage of a Brett Favre fumble on a snap exchange, drive the field and put the points on the board for a 3-0 lead. Cincinnati, having already given the football away twice on interceptions and once on a fumble, nevertheless gets on the board first. Robert Brooks takes it in the end zone for Green Bay, and number 87, Brooks, another South Carolina product, is across the 25 to the 28-yard line, make it a 30-yard return, and the Packers will start from there. And there are the numbers on Brett Favre, who has taken over at quarterback after Don Mikowski was injured, apparently a left ankle injury in the first quarter. Sharp goes in, Favre throws out. It's another incompletion.
But if you want to know how much interest they have in Sterling Sharp, there were 3 defenders around Sharp that time. 3. Someone else must have been open. He had the safety, the cornerback, and a linebacker making sure that he didn't make that reception.
Bengal defensive coordinator Ron Lynn says, let's examine Sharp's elegant pass routes from up close.
That's right. If he can get open on these 3 guys, then he can have it.
Second down 10. Favre and the Packers, ball 28-yard line. They give to Workman, and it's a little tougher to run on second and 10, and Workman has only a couple out to about the 30 before Kevin Walker made the stop from the inside linebacker position for Cincinnati.
Great play by Kevin Walker that last time. He held off a block and then came in and made the play.
And at third down 8, the Bengals bring their dime defense onto the field. 6 defensive backs.
One of the things Holmgren doesn't want his team to do is to get down at this point. Even though they're down only 3 points, he wants to keep them in the game, keep their enthusiasm going, and just keep chipping away, trying to get some points on the board.
Packers are 1 of 5 on third downs. Favre throws in the flat, complete to Workman, and Workman has first down yardage across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Rod Jones, a slightly undersized cornerback from SMU and Tampa Bay, knocks Workman out of bounds.
And Favre using these confidence builder type passes where he finds his running back, just a little short throw and a long run. Those are the kind of things that keep that offense going. And you see Workman punishing that defender at the end of that.
It's like he won't even look at me.
Right, he won't come running up that pass the next time.
I'm not the world's biggest running back, Rod, but I can intimidate you.
That's right. That's a bell ringing in his helmet.
Rod Jones weighs about 175. On first down 10 from the 42-yard line, it's Workman again. And Workman rapidly approaching double figures in carries. In fact, he's up there at 11 carries for 39 yards. Has only a short gain. Kevin Walker again with the stop.
I think one of the things they got to worry about is overworking Workman, because as soon as that happens, then the ball starts flying out. And it's inevitable. See, they're giving Workman a break now by bringing him out, because as soon as the ball carrier gets tired, the first thing that happens is you end up having a fumble, because you just can't, you just can't keep it up.
He has touched the football on 13 of 16 Green Bay offensive plays. And the man in replacement, number 34, rookie Edgar Bennett. Favre's pass is off the hands of number 82, Sanjay Beach, with Eric Thomas defending for the Bengals.
Eric Thomas is right on that play. Just a quick slant pattern. You see Sanjay Beach trying to get inside, and the ball just gets by him. Those are the kind of balls that you're not going to get wide open on a little slant pattern like that. There's only going to be one little single thread of a chance to make that catch, and you got to come up with the catch.
Third and 8. Favre throws into a crowd. Flags go down at the line of scrimmage. Ricardo McDonald, number 56, was the man who was back there to pressure Favre.
And Favre took a very nice shot.
7-5, loss of down, fourth down.
Ken Rutgers of Southern Cal was the man who was there nearest the football, so he's an ineligible receiver. And that's a loss of down penalty, and the Packers will kick it away. We apologize for the brief loss of video. We hope you see the picture again well, as we do, as Paul McJulian gets ready to punt for the third time in the football game. Carl Pickens deep to receive for Cincinnati. McJulian gets it away, a high hanging boot, and Pickens takes it at the 6-yard line and makes a move. Gets outside to the 15. Now coming back across the field, there's a lot of room on this side. This could be a spectacular return. There are no flags on the field. Pickens with one man to beat, and he hesitates a little bit and blows on by Tim Hawk, and you've got a spectacular touchdown return for Tennessee rookie Carl Pickens. 94 yards on the return for Pickens.
Carl Pickens is a big, smooth, strong, big play wide receiver. Right here, you see him field this ball. Most receivers at that point would have took a fair catch, but now he takes everybody, takes all the defense over to the right side of the field. Now at this point here, when he starts to reverse field, now it's just a race to the goal line from here. And the race is all Carl Pickens, as you see him right here. Now this is, I don't know if this is showboating a little bit, but watch him right here. He just jogs his way right down the field for the score. He is a big play man.
Oh, he's looking at Hawkins saying, now, Tim, you want to get a look? Come on over here. Get a close look. All right, I'll see you.
That's right.
See you a little bit later on. They're going to call it 95 yards. Cincinnati leads 10-0. Carl Pickens, on his first trip ever to this hallowed shrine of American football, has just scored the longest punt return in franchise history for the Cincinnati Bengals. Lee Johnson to kick it away now for the Bengal team, leading 10-0 over Green Bay. And the high kick will be taken by Robert Brooks at about the 5-yard line. Brooks, an explosive-looking kick returner, gets across the 25 to the 26, and we'll take another look at the spectacular run back by Pickens.
I asked Carl Pickens before the game what has been the big adjustment from college to pro. He said, you know, there's so many stars out here. He said, last week I played against Willie Gault and all these guys. I didn't know whether to get their autograph or say hello to them or what. I said, you keep playing the way you're playing. People will be trying to get your autograph, and if he runs any more like this, he'll be in the Pro Bowl.
Now, did he offer his autograph to Hawk down there?
I think that might have been what he was saying.
And there is Pickens.
Carl Pickens, a 7-foot high jumper. Doesn't run great routes, but he is a man that makes big plays, as you just saw.
Hey, it's been a big weekend for the Tennessee Volunteers. The win over Florida at Knoxville yesterday. Pickens punt return today. Now Brett Favre looks deep, holds onto the football, and runs it out to about the 30-yard line. Elston Ridgel making the stop for the Cincinnati Bengals, and it will be 2nd down and 7 yards to go for Green Bay. There's Don Mikowski on the sideline. We don't expect to see him back today. If Favre goes down, you'll get a look at Ty Detmer, one-time Heisman Trophy winner from Brigham Young, who was the 8th round pick for the Packers in this year's draft, and they like him.
They certainly do. They say he's not pretty, but he gets things done. One of the disappointing things for this Green Bay Packer team is after Pickens ran that touchdown in, the whole crowd here started booing their team.
That's disappointing. On 2nd and 7, Favre throws the ball in and out of the hands of Vince Workman. Eric Thomas was there to defend for the Bengals, but that's just a clean drop.
There is absolutely, you have to make that play to become a winning football team. It's not on Favre. Favre here with the excellent decision to fire it out to Workman. That's his safety valve there. Puts it right where he can catch it and keep running. Great throw by Favre, but just a horrible catch by Workman.
Now, when the Bengals look at the films on the punt return by Pickens, is the special teams coach going to say, don't field this punt and run it back from your own 5-yard line, or is he going to say field it if you're going to run it back 95 yards?
No, he'll have the green light to field a few more of them in the upcoming weeks. As long as he, as soon as he gets caught back there, they'll tell him to let it go.
3rd down 7 for Favre, and he throws over the middle. This time Workman clutches it to his chest, and Barney Bussey makes the stop for Cincinnati, but Green Bay is out to about its 45-yard line with 1st down yardage. Workman still down on the field.
That's one of those things where he caught the ball, and as he was tackled, he fell on the ball. I'm sure he knocked the wind out of himself. That happens sometimes when the ball gets caught up underneath you.
Oh, so that's why they call it a solar plexus, he says.
He's fine.
Bengals showing blitz on 1st down. Favre comes with the running play. Edgar Bennett, the rookie out of Florida State, is met and dropped at the line of scrimmage.
And Favre has to keep the Cincinnati defense offset a little bit by using these running plays, because if he doesn't, if he tries to just pass exclusively, he hasn't played enough. They will blitz him to death. So the situation is, the way he keeps people up, you got to keep running the ball a little bit, chipping away, and then use play-action passes.
2nd down 10 for the Packers. Favre's numbers on the day. Cincinnati using backup defensive linemen. And relatively young linemen Elston Ridgel and Mike Fryer made the stop together on the last play. Packers with double wide to the top of the screen. Favre throwing over the top. Sterling Sharp wide open. Flags down as the ball just eludes Sharp at the Bengal 30-yard line.
You work all week to try to get that single matchup, and that's when you got to make the play happen. You may not get that single matchup again the rest of this game, but there always comes a time when you're going to get that single coverage, and you got to make that play.
Well, the Bengals holding on defense, and that'll give Green Bay a little bit of yardage, but
Holding. Defense, number 22, 5-yard penalty. First down.
Favre says he missed Sharp on 2 sure touchdowns last week against Tampa Bay. Promised that he wouldn't let it happen again.
He just let it happen. Here you just see Sterling working inside, running just a little post corner route. He's wide open, easy throw, should be. And it just appeared that Favre put a little bit too much on the ball. Sterling not able to come up with the catch.
So Sterling goes back to the huddle and says, Brent, I'm 6'1".
And Brent says, I thought you had great leaping ability.
On first down, Favre throws in the flat to Sterling Sharp. Sharp breaks one tackle and gets a few yards down the sideline before he's knocked out of bounds. Daniel Stubbs was the man who was in putting pressure on Favre.
And he put a nice little knock on Favre at the end of that pass play. Not a lot of time at all. You watch 67, Daniel Stubbs just coming straight away, nobody blocking him, and gets a nice little necktie tackle on Favre. He's learning about this NFL. And he said he needed to. He needed to play a lot just to get the feeling. That feeling there couldn't have been too good.
That's right. Stubbs says, Brett, I weigh 264. You like it? You felt about 255 of it. Second down and 8 yards to go after the 2-yard pickup on the completion to Sharp. Favre throwing on rhythm, and it's batted down at the line of scrimmage as Mike Fryer, number 97, the rookie out of Appalachian State, knocks it down for Cincinnati. So it'll be third down and 8 for Brett Favre and the Packers.
A lot of attempts going to Sterling Sharp, but I guess if you're a young quarterback, you read the paper, you know who made the Pro Bowl, and I guess if you got somebody you want to lean on, that's the guy you want to go to, Sharp. But I think that the key would be is to throw the ball around somewhere else and then come back to Sterling Sharp, because right now everybody is covering Sharp, everybody's watching him, including us.
Packers are 3 out of 7 on third down situations. Favre has converted the last 2. Screen pass. Edgar Bennett with the football. And Bennett is close to the first down near the Bengal 40-yard line, maybe a yard short, as another rookie, Ricardo McDonald, made the stop for the Bengals. And the crowd immediately gets into the go chorus. They don't want to see any punting out of Mike Holmgren's Green Bay attack.
And I think Mike Holmgren's got to go for this. They're in a rebuilding process. What do they got to lose? You got to try to establish some confidence in your offense, and you got that little short thing to go. You get that first down, then everybody gets excited, and you think you get the next first down, and the next one, the next thing you know, you get in for a score. So I think this is a great call by Holmgren. Not a great call, but a good call to go ahead and go for the first down.
Packers face a 4.5 yard at the Bengal 40-yard line. Triple tight ends. And second-year quarterback Brett Favre in the game, replacing the injured Don Majkowski, gives to Edgar Bennett. And the rookie out of Florida State, with only 6 carries for 22 yards in the NFL coming into today's game, has the first down yardage across the 40 before Daniel Stubbs makes the tackle for the Bengals.
And you hear this crowd come alive because the Green Bay offense doing something positive, and that's one of those. That's just one of those confidence builders for your offensive line. You got to be able to make a half a yard.
You know what would be absolutely huge, Ahmad, would be a Brett Favre touchdown pass before halftime. That would give him new mental life going into the locker room.
A Brett Favre touchdown pass anytime today would be would be nice.
Brett Favre with a weak fake is snowed under by a Cincinnati pass rush that thought absolutely nothing of the play fake. James Francis in on the blitz along with Daniel Stubbs and a lot of white jerseys.
You're out of business when you have one good play and one bad one. It just doesn't even out. Here you see Favre. This looks like a total, looked like there was a lot of confusion there, and that's where the confusion ends, with a sack of Favre, as we see Don Majkowski being driven off the field.
And he was injured on a sack by Tim Crumry, the nose tackle, who landed on Majkowski's ankle as he brought him down, and Don has not been putting a lot of weight on the left leg since that time. So now the Packers face second down, long yardage. 2-minute warning arrives, and we'll be back. second down 20 for the Green Bay Packers, and Brett Favre looking down the middle. 3 Bengals touched it. It eluded the hands of Vince Workman, the intended receiver, out of the setback position. Fernandez Vinson touched it. Kevin Walker touched it. There was one other player, I believe it was probably Barney Bussey, who got a finger on the football. Third down now. And 19 yards to go. Sterling Sharp out of the backfield, and this will be a 4-yard reception for Sharp. Clock continues to run. Crowd begins to boo. Leonard Wheeler in the game as the nickelback. Makes the stop along with Ricardo McDonald. And this time Holmgren, looking at 4th down and 15, sends the kicking unit onto the field. Paul McJulian to kick it away for Green Bay, and there's Carl Pickens standing at the 10-yard line. Pickens, as you heard from Ahmad, has temporarily a free pass to run back anything he wants. But this time, with flags down, Pickens walks away, and the ball is down at the 6-yard line, and the flag is in the McJulian area. I think you got a roughing the kicker penalty that will give the Packers an offensive reprieve.
Roughing the kicker. Defense, number 94, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Number 91, Brian Noble, had downed the football for the Packers. Now he goes back to the bench, as does the rest of the Packer defense. On first down, Favre with plenty of time. Over the middle, and it's caught by Jackie Harris. Third-year tight end out of Northeast Louisiana. Barney Bussey makes the stop for the Bengals. Clock runs at 1:20, and the Packers have a first down at the 14-yard line.
Good poise by Brett Favre. He was looking for Sterling Sharp. Sterling Sharp was covered over the right side, and he kept looking for his next receiver. Then he found his third receiver and delivered the ball. That was a very nice play by Favre. Showing a lot of poise back there.
Favre is a sturdy type at 220 pounds. He'll stand in against the rush. Throwing hard down the middle to Sterling Sharp, and Sharp didn't have a shot at the football, and Favre berates himself again. Rod Jones was the man on the coverage for the Bengals.
Got to bring that ball down a little bit, but when you have an inside breaking pattern like the one that Sterling Sharp just ran, in the flat they had Workman, but he just didn't have a chance to look back and try to go to his secondary receiver. And Favre, you could see at the end of that play, he knew he threw the ball to the wrong guy.
Clock stopped at 49. Second down 10. They need to get the ball to the 4-yard line for a first down. Packers with 2 timeouts remaining. Favre this time takes a pounding. Lamar Rogers, number 79, defensive end in the football game.
This sack here, you got to make this sack. Nobody blocks him. If you watch Lamar Rogers, he comes straight in, not anybody blocking him at all. That's somebody missed a blocking assignment.
And Alonzo Mitz was there to help out.
Tootie Robbins says his babysitter named him Tootie. Big as he is, I'll call him whatever he asks.
Brett Favre, 62 yards in the air so far on 7 of 16. And on third down 16, Favre looks to call timeout, then gets back under center. Oh, they're in trouble here. And Favre hits a photographer in the back of the end zone, and now the boos shower down on what appears for the moment to be a disorganized Packer attack.
They came up to the line of scrimmage in the wrong formation, and Mike Holmgren signaled the timeout, and then Favre appeared to signal a timeout, and then they went on and ran the play. You watch Favre here, he's looking over the defense, now he's looking over at Holmgren. Holmgren's signaling timeout, he signals timeout, and then goes back up underneath the center. I'm sure that part of the play is not in the playbook.
Now, what's the overall picture? Do you think referee Dick Hantak told him it was too late to get the timeout?
When is it too late?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't understand that. He made a clear signal. Why couldn't he get a timeout? Ball's at the 28-yard line. Jackie tries the 38-yarder and nails it. Another low trajectory kick. Didn't look like he made perfect contact, but he got that one through. and it gets the Packers on the board. And I'm still wondering why they couldn't get the timeout. 36 seconds left before halftime, and Green Bay takes advantage of the roughing the kicker penalty that preserved the drive and gets points on the board.
Here you see Favre. He never even put his hand under the center. Now he's calling timeout. And then he's back up underneath this.
Okay.
So we've got a clearing on that. The same team cannot call 2 consecutive timeouts.
That's right. They had a timeout prior to that play, and now he was looking for a second one.
Illegal procedure. Free kick out of bounds. The ball is to be placed.
Mike Holmgren has got to be going
First down,
through
Cincinnati.
a whale of a scene. Here's a guy that in so many years past, every game he went into, he knew that they were going to win the football game when he was at San Francisco. Now, all of a sudden, everything changed. He's the head coach here now. There's got to be some frustration as he looks at his team thinking, well, you know, I don't know if we can really win the football game. All we want to be is competitive. I think that's very tough on a guy who has been a winner for so long in his career.
But he was an offensive coordinator for 3 years at San Francisco, and prior to that, a quarterback coach. And those are very specific duties, not like being a head coach.
Not
On first down 10, Harold Green bursts out of the Cincinnati backfield and gets across the 45 to the 46. A lot of people outside of football, Ahmad, probably underestimate that transition from assistant coach to head coach. First down for the Bengals after the 10-yard run by Harold Green. And number 42 with the football was Eric Ball. The clock runs, as David Shula says, this'll do. This is quite enough for us.
David Shula's done a great job with the morale of the Cincinnati Bengal team. A lot of people said a lot of things about him being too young and not enough experience, but he's shown that he has got this whole Bengal team fired up and ready to play.
A 3-13 football team a year ago, 2-0 in early season, leading the Packers 10-3 at halftime after a curious and eventful first half at Lambeau Field, highlighted by the 95-yard touchdown punt return by Bengal rookie Carl Pickens. And we bring it back to Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Jim Lampley with Ahmad Rashad as Lee Johnson gets ready to deliver the second half kickoff for the Cincinnati Bengals, leading 10-3 over the Packers. Robert Brooks drops the football and is persuaded to down it. Packers have sputtered somewhat on offense both before and after the injury to Don Majkowski, the starting quarterback, which introduced into the game that man, number 4, Brett Favre, second-year quarterback out of Southern Mississippi, picked up by the Packers from the Atlanta Falcons for a future first-round draft choice.
Said after last week's little bit of action that he wanted more, and that's what he's getting here in this game.
On first down from the 20, the man with the football is number 31, Buford McGee. And McGee, who got the start today in place of Harry Sidney, has a pickup of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. And the report from the Packer locker room, Ahmad, is magic. Don Majkowski, ligament damage to the left ankle. That's the bad news. The good news is no fracture.
Majkowski has got to be like that guy in the comic strip that had that little black cloud over his
Joe
head.
Babbitt.
Yeah, that's right. Because he has had some horrible luck the last couple of years with injuries.
He is wearing the black cloud since 1989. After gain of 4 on first down, it's 2nd down 6 for the Pack. Draw play, give the workman. The workhorse of the Packer offense has about 4 flags go down as he nears the 30-yard line, and Ricardo McDonald makes the tackle for Cincinnati. It's the holding call against Green Bay.
That's one of the worst calls for an offense when you're trying to get something going, and all of a sudden you get set back 10 yards with a holding penalty.
Holding. Offense, number 65, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. 2nd down.
11-year veteran Ron Hallstrom out of Iowa is the man with the hold. And, of course, Tim Crumry, the nose tackle for Cincinnati, played against Hallstrom in college when Crumry was at Wisconsin and Hallstrom was at Iowa. And Tim Crumry knowingly said to us yesterday, yeah, I know Hallstrom's tendencies. I've got a move or 2 for him.
And he has had a move or 4 for him all the way in this game. He has just been a force.
He's been terrific. 2nd down now, 15 yards to go. And Buford McGee with the catch gets it across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. Favre gets a little back before Kevin Walker makes the stop for the Bengals.
Once again, there's Mikowski. That happened early on in the game where Krumrie just came down on that ankle and put Mikowski out of this game. And with that bad ligaments, he'll be out for quite a while.
And there you saw the frustration of Don Mikowski on the sideline as trainers treated him. He was hurting big time. And later he was carted off to the locker room, from which we recently get the report: ligament damage to the ankle, no fracture. 3rd down 7. And Favre is going to get away from the blitz and throw complete to Buford McGee in the flat. And McGee has a first down across the 35 to the 38-yard line. And there you saw Favre's physical strength in getting away from Darrell Williams, the rookie safety man for Cincinnati. And Favre's numbers are beginning to pick up. He got off to a slow start, now 9 of 19 for 86. And he's improvised a couple of plays that make him look like the kind of survivor the Packers might need to get through these next several games. Vince Workman getting the call again from the tailback spot. Pickup of about 3. James Francis made the stop for the Bengals.
As you watch this Green Bay Packer offense work, you have to think back of Holmgren and all the offensive weapons that he had when he was at San Francisco. They ran the same offense, but there's different people in the positions now. And you're seeing a different result also. You have an all-star cast like he had in San Francisco. You can almost do whatever you wanted to. But here, these guys are still learning this system and trying to be more efficient at it.
2nd down 10. Sterling Sharp with a little running room. And Sharp is into Bengal territory at the 44-yard line before Rod Jones knocked him out of bounds. And for the first time all day, Sterling Sharp didn't have that big crowd surrounding him. First down now at the 44-yard line. Favre evening up his passing numbers now at 10 of 20. Workman pops out and beyond the 40 to about the 36-yard line before Fernandez Vinson made the stop from strong safety for the Bengals. Of critical importance now to get something out of this drive and turn these early positive moments in the second half into something concrete. It is Buford McGee with the football on 2nd down short, and McGee has another Packer first down near the Bengal 30. Tootie Robbins with the block out in front of McGee, clearing the way before Rod Jones and Darrell Williams made the stop for Cincinnati.
Buford McGee, I saw him the other day at practice. I said, what have you been in the league? About 20 years. He's been around a while. He's a very heady veteran that doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and a player that you need on a team like this just to not make those mental errors. That's one of the keys to winning in professional football. You can't make mental mistakes, and Buford McGee does not make many.
He's a solid citizen, too. Just a terrific guy, Buford McGee. 10th play of the drive now. Almost jumping was Francis at the top of the screen, and now Workman gets the call on first down for Green Bay and gets a couple. It was Ricardo McDonald, not Francis, who almost jumped offside and then eventually came over to help out on the tackle.
One of the things that this running offense does for the Packers is it keeps Cincinnati from doing all the blitzing that they want to do. It's very hard to blitz if they keep running the ball at you. Sort of keeps the defense offset.
It also keeps the Packer defense from getting tired out by that Cincinnati running game, the hammer, which is aimed at keeping the football on the Cincinnati side and pounding away at the Packer defense and wearing it down. As long as the Packer defenders are over on the sideline, they can't get tired. Favre throwing in the corner of the end zone. Just overthrows number 82, Sanjay Beach. Eric Thomas there with the coverage for Cincinnati.
That's a good throw. You got to loosen that defense up. Let them know that you're not afraid to go downtown. And Favre just overthrew this one. Here you see him backing up. He's going deep all the way. Tries to find Sanjay Beach, and the ball's just thrown just a little bit too far.
Well, and as Beach gets to know him better and gets a little more confident in Favre, maybe he makes a play on that ball.
I think that happens. I mean, this team has not worked together a long time, and as they practice more together, play more together, then those plays start to work. You just want them to start working sooner rather than later. You don't want to be, 5 or 6 games lost because you can't make these plays.
They've eaten almost 7 minutes off the clock. Favre under pressure, gets away, looks down the field, and overthrows number 82, Sanjay Beach. Looked as though he was having a little difficulty choosing between Beach and Robert Brooks near the goal line on the right side. Darrell Williams was in on the pass coverage, or check it, on the safety blitz for the Bengals.
Favre once again showing that tremendous strength and getting away from the blitzer, and then a little bit upset of himself because he threw the ball just a little bit too high.
So on 4th down, from the 29-yard line, we'll have a 47-yard field goal attempt for Chris Jackie. And Jackie, who hasn't kicked it particularly well today, makes good contact with this one, but misses wide to the right. So the Packers hold the football for more than 6 minutes, but wind up with nada. It is 10-3 Cincinnati. And there's a look at Terrell Buckley, first-round draft choice for the Packers out of Florida State, number 5 pick in the draft. And Packer general manager Ron Wolf contends we'd have picked him first. To us, he was the best player in the draft. He was the last one signed out of the first round this year and takes the field for the first time now in the Packer defense, playing right corner. Harold Green with the football on first down, pickup of about 4 for Cincinnati. Bryce Paup made the stop for Green Bay, and Vinnie Clark, the man whom Buckley replaced at right corner, is not a happy dude right now.
Not at all. He made some statements last week that when people start talking about when Buckley comes, whose place he's going to take, and Clark was the guy that said, well, he shouldn't take mine. If he does, I'll be very upset about that. So we know that he is upset about that because he's now on the sideline.
On 2nd down 4, Esiason with an effective play fake, wide open in the flat to the tight end Jim Riggs, 6th-year player out of Clemson, and Riggs has first down yardage across the 40. Johnny Holland made the stop for Green Bay.
Terrell Buckley is an engaging sort of young man. We had a good time talking to him yesterday. He has a lot of confidence, and I don't think that you can play this cornerback position without being confident no matter what year you are in the league. And you see he's taking nothing off of Tim McGee, who's been around for a long time. Watch right at the end of this play. He tries to throw McGee down.
Harold Green running with the football on first down for the Bengals. And John Jurkovic, the nose tackle, made the stop for Green Bay. 2nd down, 5 yards to go. Green continuing to roll in early season for the Bengals. He's been one of the hottest ball carriers in the league. 2nd and 5. Boomer still has the football. Under pressure. Lofts it, and Buckley came very close to his first NFL interception. Tim McGee was the intended receiver, and Terrell is kicking himself mentally. That was a clean pick.
Terrell was on his way to the end zone out there. Watch him. This is a tough pattern to cover because it's all the way across the field. But you see Buckley with excellent defensive strategy right there. Once he starts running across the field, he looks back at the quarterback. He should have made that play, and that's one of the things that's been hurting Green Bay. These guys got to make the play.
3rd down, 5. Esiason has it knocked down. Number 62 in the middle, Matt Brock. Got his hand up. That's the 2nd time today that Brock has deflected a pass out of the hands of Esiason. And the crowd gives the Green Bay defense a big roar of approval for having stopped the Bengals on their side of the 50-yard line. And Buckley goes deep to receive the punt.
And there is Brock from the University of Oregon, one of the few guys that goes from college to the pros and doesn't have to change uniforms. These uniforms are just like the ones at Oregon.
I better buy one before we get out of town. Lee Johnson to kick it. There is Buckley standing at his 10-yard line. In the swirling wind, the spiraling punt. Buckley's going to let it go at the 5, and that was an excellent choice. 53-yard boot for Lee Johnson. The Packers will begin at their 20-yard line. Brett Favre at the controls when we come back to Lambeau Field. As we bring you back to Lambeau Field in Green Bay, 6:59 to go in the 3rd quarter. 10-3 Bengals leading. Brett Favre on first down. Throws behind the intended receiver, Robert Brooks. It'll be 2nd down 10. We look at the comparative numbers between Boomer Esiason of the Bengals on the left and Favre of Green Bay on the right.
And as you look at these comparisons, both these quarterbacks have been doing a very fine job in the middle of the field. They haven't been able to come up with a drive that gets them into the end zone.
And the 2 Esiason interceptions, both to Johnny Holland.
Favre wanting to play more, getting a chance to play more, and getting better as the game goes by. Green Bay is still hanging in this football game.
They're not out of the game, Ahmad, and Cincinnati, by rights, probably ought to have about a 21-3 lead here, but they don't. Meanwhile, Favre gets wrapped up and dumped at his 11-yard line. Lamar Rogers, number 79, was there, the second-year player out of Auburn, along with number 69, Tim Crumry, from the nose tackle position. Fourth sack of Favre.
Here you'll see the difference in Favre shaking off a defensive cornerback that's coming in trying to make a sack and trying to get away from somebody who weighs about 250 pounds. It's a world of difference. Tim Crumry is playing a whale of a game, and so is Lamar Rogers.
Tim Crumry has enormous motivation against the Packers. In the 10th round of the draft back in 1983, 5 picks before the Bengals took Crumry, his home state team, the Packers, took a basketball player, Jim Thomas of Indiana. He's never forgotten. Number 46, Workman out of the backfield, gets across the 20, and that gets a little punting room, really, for the Packer punter. Ricardo McDonald making the stop for Cincinnati. And this just makes it a little bit safer punt attempt for Paul McJulian of Green Bay.
It's amazing the things that will inspire you to play hard against a team your entire career. And somebody like Crumry to have that situation, it was a slap in the face to him. And now all of a sudden, every time he comes here and plays against the Packers, he wants them. And the people that drafted the basketball players, they're not even here anymore.
They're not around. Yeah,
he's playing against that green and gold.
There's Carl Pickens, already with a 95-yard punt return touchdown to his credit today. McJulian kicks it down the middle of the field. A hanger, a little bit short, gets a roll, goes out of bounds at the Cincinnati 39-yard line. 40-yard punt for McJulian. Pickens didn't get a chance to touch the ball. Bengals still lead 10-3 in the third. Back at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Jim Lampley with Ahmad Rashad, 5:53 to go in the third. And Ahmad, we touched on the point a moment ago. Cincinnati has, through much of the game, been physically dominant, moving the football fluidly from time to time. But because of turnovers, penalties, and some Green Bay tenacity, the Packers are still in the game.
And I think the Packers are in the game because Cincinnati cannot do anything just to break that spirit, to make Green Bay think that they're not going to win this game. I'm sure right now they are still excited because they're in the game. All you want to do is stay in contention toward the fourth quarter and then have a chance to win it. They still have a chance at this point.
Johnny Holland is going to have some monster defensive numbers for the Packers at the end of the day. Another tackle there, already with 2 interceptions earlier in the game. And Harold Green was the running back who got 5 yards for the Bengals. Buckley and Billups at the corners for Green Bay. Pickens in motion. Green again with the football. Green trying to find the first down marker, and Buckley stops him 1 yard short. Ryan Noble made the first hit, and Terrell Buckley closed the deal, and there's a Bengal player down on the field.
And the Bengals are awful slim at wide receiver. This could hurt them.
Watching from upstairs in a special booth is the other half of the 2-man team signed on to try to revive football glory in Green Bay. That's General Manager Ron Wolf, who ironically, Ahmad, comes out of the Raider organization.
You know what's so strange about that? If you think back about the Vince Lombardi times, there's no way that a Raider would be running a Green Bay football team.
Good fake by Esiason. Gets away from one man, almost throws another interception. It was Packer pass rusher Tony Bennett along with Matt Brock who got to Esiason and eventually forced the bad pass. But Boomer had plenty of time to do something before they got to it.
He certainly did. A lot of time to throw the ball. Made a good job of not taking that sack. But getting back to Ron Wolf, he is one of the excellent football minds and says that he is trying to rebuild this football team and says it's going to take him about 3 years.
There's Bennett, there's Brock, there's the throw.
And speaking of 3 years, Boomer had almost 3 years to get that ball off.
That's right. That's Cincinnati's rebuilding process. We're going to rebuild on this play. We'll draft 4 players before Boomer throws this ball. Lee Johnson punting. Terrell Buckley stands at the 10-yard line for Green Bay. Packer defense getting another chorus of cheers for having stopped the Bengals. Towering punt. Buckley will let this go, and it sails over him into the end zone. 52-yarder to help Johnson pad his average once again. They'll bring it back out to the 20. There's the name of Lombardi, one of 18 names displayed around the rim of the stadium. All of them Green Bay Packer figures who are in the Professional Football Hall of Fame. Mike Holmgren, 3 years offensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers, hired by Ron Wolf, the general manager you saw, to revive Packer fortunes on the field. Brett Favre, a Ron Wolf personal choice as a quarterback, completes down the middle to Sanjay Beach. Eric Thomas with the coverage, but it'll be first down for the Packers across the 30 at the 31-yard line.
You have to really be impressed with the Packers' intensity. They're still playing hard. When you talk about rebuilding, inside of a locker room, all of a sudden it's like it's very hard to keep these players playing hard when really you might not have all the pieces to the puzzle yet out there saying that you can win the game. But these guys are still playing hard, and Favre is the kind of quarterback on a rebuilding team that comes up and going to keep your offense going at all times.
Favre, under pressure, delivers down the middle, complete to Ed West. Alex Gordon of Cincinnati there to make the hit. Flags are down.
Face mask, defense, number 58, the 5 yards will make it a first down.
One setback for the Pack on first down 10. Buford McGee with the football, and McGee pounds forward for about 3 yards across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Clock winding down on the third quarter. Lamar Rogers made the stop for Cincinnati, and the Packers still in the football game. Can do serious damage if they can get a score on this drive.
And Brett Favre becoming more and more comfortable at quarterback here. You saw him throw a lot of balls, overthrew a lot of balls in the first half. Here he's been very accurate in this second half. Got a different little walk when he comes out of that huddle.
Now the strategy of yanking Mikowski at halftime last week in a lost game and giving Favre a chance to play against the Buccaneers looks like a piece of genius on Holmgren's part.
It really does. I think what Holmgren is saying by that is our team is not set by any means. You know, anybody can get pulled. We're just trying to find the pieces to put together here to get us a winning football team. Every position is up for grabs, including the position of quarterback.
And they wanted Favre to get a little playing time.
Without question.
With an eye toward what could conceivably happen down the road. And 1 week later down the road, it did happen.
And Ron Wolf was, you know, he couldn't hide the enthusiasm he had for Brett Favre. He really likes this young man.
Now Favre operates on third down 7. Need to get the football into Bengal territory for a first down. And number 31, Darrell Williams, separates Favre from the football. Stubbs again tries to pick it up. This time it is number 56, Ricardo McDonald, who finally possesses the ball. And the Bengals will have it at the Green Bay 29. Well, you live and die with somebody like Brett Favre.
Well, one of the things they wanted to do, you don't want to get in a passing situation against this Bengal defense because you know they're going to be coming at you from all over everywhere. And right here, you see Darrell Williams come in and make this sack. And that's one of the situations Green Bay didn't want to get in that situation, want to keep running the ball and not have to have a drop back pass, because once they did that, then all of a sudden all the pressure's on your front line because you got to pick up all the blitzes. And you, from watching film, you know that them blitzes come from everywhere.
First down at the 29-yard line. Esiason with a chance to get a little breathing room for Cincinnati. Bengals unbeaten in the early season. Boomer throws in the flat, and it's complete to Brian Brennan, number 83, the gutty possession receiver out of Boston College. Gets it down near the 15-yard line before Lewis Billups, number 22, made the stop for Green Bay.
Brian Brennan has always been one of my favorite receivers because he catches with his hands. He's got excellent hands, always catches that ball outside of his body.
You and Doug Flutie. He was one of Flutie's favorite receivers back at BC. On first down, Harold Green.
I like Brian more than I did Flutie. There's Brian Brennan, used to play for the Cleveland Browns. Excellent, as you mentioned, possession receiver, runs great routes, has excellent hands, and a fearless receiver. Will go inside and make the grab.
Yeah, if you get the ball into his area code, he's a good bet to catch it. Second down 11 after the loss of 1 on first down. Brennan in motion. Esiason with another play fake. Plenty of time. Corner of the end zone. Touchdown. Number 42, Eric Ball, was the man who made the release out of the backfield, and I would have to guess that is receiver number 3 or 4 on the pattern.
Well, he had a chance to look at receivers 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 before he picked out number 4 to fire that ball to. Here you see Esiason, great line blocking up front. Esiason able to survey the entire field before throwing a perfect strike to Eric Ball. And I think that may be his longest reception on the longest completion on the year for Boomer Esiason.
Yeah, it's about an 18 to 19 yarder, which is as far as he's been with a completion this year. Bryce Park was the man who was beaten on the coverage. Awfully tough for your outside linebacker to cover a back that far downfield. 3 plays, 29 yards, 1 minute and 8 seconds on the touchdown drive following the Brett Favre fumble after he was blasted on the safety blitz by Darrell Williams. And now on the kickoff, Jonathan Brooks takes the football, confers for a moment with his blocking back, and gets it out across the 20. Edgar Bennett was the man who bumped into Jonathan Brooks. And you're going to have an offside penalty against Green Bay as Favre tries to get it going on first down.
This is where Green Bay has to really be careful to not have it all fall apart on them. We were talking earlier about how they had stayed in the game, played pretty even with Cincinnati. Now they're down
Offside,
17-3.
Defense, number 94, 5-yard penalty.
And I jumped the gun on the
Repeat,
penalty
first
call,
down.
Ahmad. Let's call it against Cincinnati instead.
Well, even though they got the penalty, they still, that was an ugly looking play. It looked like people were going the wrong direction. I mean, you still got to have some continuity in your offense. So we'll give the penalty to Cincinnati and give, I don't know what we give to Green Bay for that ugly play.
We give them the Sarah Bernhardt Award for inducing Cincinnati to jump offside with a bizarre start to the play. Favre with another one of those play fakes 3 feet away from the running back, loses the football again, this time manages to get hold of it. Alfred Williams was there to make the hit for the Cincinnati Bengals, and a flag is down once again.
It appeared as though we had a late hit by the Bengals on Favre. He was already down on the ground, and he's going to learn when to take a sack, you know, and when to get rid of the ball. Very dangerous walking around there, scrambling around with that ball hanging out.
More and more in this league, it seems to me, year after year, quarterbacks who haven't had a lot of playing time have trouble holding on to the football in the pocket.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the defense. 15 yards, first down.
Well, this is one way to mount a drive. 2 penalties in a row against the Bengals.
There's Favre, as you see him with the ball fake. Now he's looking downfield, trying to find a receiver. Can't find one, and then the ball gets knocked out of his hands. He's just lucky that that ball bounces right back to him. If we stay on it, we'll see right there is the late hit. It's a little bit late, and therefore they get the 15-yard penalty. But
Nice piece of directing.
Favre living and learning.
I think more and more defensive coordinators are schooling their players, particularly on the pass rush, to be alert to that possibility of knocking the ball out.
And you know what? The defensive linemen are becoming such better and better athletes that they're able to do that. They're not one-dimensional guys. They're guys that have a lot of athletic ability that even though they got somebody trying to block on them, they're still able to reach out and try to knock that ball down.
6 Cincinnati sacks now in the football game have cost Green Bay 43 yards. Ball at the 41-yard line for Green Bay. Favre again loses the snap. Loose football. Sooner or later, you're going to give it up on one of these.
Favre just not able to get away from that center fast enough because there's a guard pulling, and just as Favre took the snap, he didn't get away fast enough. The guard knocked the ball right out of his hand. That's just not enough experience. If you watch right here, watch number 57, right there, bam. Can't find the ball. Just you need a lot of repetition in trying to run this offense because these are the things that just, the only positive plays they've had are penalties. They've had about 3 or 4 ugly plays that do nothing for the confidence of the offense.
And you got a real problem on the exchange here as you have an inexperienced quarterback who has not played a great deal with the center, and the center is occupying himself trying to block Tim Crumry, who is having a whale of a game across the line from him. This time Favre pulls it down and gets a couple of yards running, and that is going to be the end of the third quarter. As we come back to Lambeau Field in Green Bay, the Packers, beaten 31-3 by Tampa Bay last week, have now gone 7 quarters in a row without a touchdown, and they get ready for the adventure of another James Campen to Brett Favre center snap.
Very hard to win a football game if you don't score a touchdown.
It's 3rd down 9 from the 41-yard line. They negotiate the center snap. Favre rolls out, throws back across the field, and almost has an interception for his trouble. As Rod Jones, number 25, has hands on the football. There's a scuffle. There are flags down again in the backfield near where Favre threw the ball. Danny Stubbs.
You made the point a little while ago about James Campen having to snap that ball. And, you know, people don't understand all the things that the center has to do. He's got to remember the snap count. He's got to make the line calls on the defense there. He's got to deliver the ball, make sure the quarterback gets it, and then block Crumrye. That's too much. That's too much. It's enough just trying to block Crumrye.
And when you first came into the league?
Oh, boy, they had Dick Butkus. They didn't have a nose tackle. They'd take the middle linebacker, like somebody like Dick Butkus. And
unsportsmanlike act, a chop block. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
And Dick Butkus would just beat up the center. I remember when I was playing for St. Louis, Butkus made our center quit. We'd call a play on 3, and the center would just snap it as soon as he touched it and said, hey, if anybody else wants to go in there and hold that ball to 3, be my guest.
Another happy memory for Dick Butkus.
One of the greatest players ever.
Now McJulian prepares to kick to Carl Pickens, and Pickens waits at his 15-yard line. High, hanging kick. Bouncing inside the 10, and it's going to go on into the end zone. Packers just couldn't get their hands on it as Roland Mitchell looked to down it at the end of the 58-yard boot for Paul McJulian. That's Brett Favre, who's had a little bit of a rough day on the sideline.
There's no telling who he's got on the phone.
Boomer Esiason, 9 of 15. Throws in the flat. Eric Ball, who caught the touchdown pass on the last possession, goes out of bounds. Flags down deep in the defensive secondary of Green Bay.
It looked like a holding or a pushing penalty against Green Bay. I mean, against Cincinnati. And Cincinnati, this is not. They have not played real good football, but it doesn't matter. They're ahead 17-3.
Pass interference on the offense. Number 87, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. 1st down.
Well, if you're going to contend for a division title in this league, and the Bengals are tied atop the AFC Central at 2-0 coming in, you're going to have to win occasionally on days when you don't play your best football.
That's exactly. And the thing is, in the National Football League, it always goes forward. If you can win this game, you forget about it and get better next week.
Derek Fenner with the football gets out across the 15-yard line for a gain of about 6 on 1st down 20 after the 1st down penalty for Cincinnati. Esera Tuaolo, second-year man out of Oregon State, your arch rivals, makes the stop for Green Bay.
Yeah, that's right. I can remember those. I forgot. Well, I don't think we had a cup. You know, usually when you play the interstate rivalry, you play for a
you got
cup
some
or something.
souvenir of some sort. Yeah.
I don't think that we played for anything. It was just a game.
Second down 13. Esiason way up top and downfield. And Terrell Buckley was in front of Brian Brennan, and that was easy coverage for Buckley on Brennan. There is a speed disparity there.
Very much a disparity. I don't think you're going to find Brian Brennan beating Terrell Buckley on any deep pass. But he may beat him on some underneath pass. That's his forte. He can't. I got a feeling I could go like head-to-head with Brian in about a 40.
I started to say him.
Penalty is declined.
Declined.
3rd down.
The penalty, which was against the offense, illegal motion, declined by the Packers, who would rather see it go to 3rd down and 14 yards to go for the 1st down. I think you ignore Brian when he comes back to the huddle and says, I can take Terrell deep. Fenner with a pickup of about 4, just getting a little extra punting room for Lee Johnson. And another round of applause for the Packer defense as they do their job this time.
The defense has not played badly today. It's just that the offense hasn't been able to do anything at all. And now we'll get a chance to see Terrell Buckley, the Jim Thorpe of the second half of the century,
Self-proclaimed.
That's right. That's what he says, and I still haven't quite understood it, but I certainly like this guy. He's got a lot of ability and a lot of confidence.
And you liked Thorpe, too.
Thorpe was one of my favorites, too. What number was Thorpe?
Early part of the century. Buckley from the 43. Boom! Here we go. He gets away from Esiason. And a little of the Deion Sanders style magic for another Seminole, Terrell Buckley. Hey, Jim Thorpe never did it any better than that.
What an exciting player, this Terrell Buckley. He turned this crowd on. And he was confident that he was going to do that when we talked to him yesterday at practice. He just knows he's an impact player. He walked up to me and said, you know, I could have covered you.
I don't doubt it.
He is some kind of a player. Got his mother and his sister moved up here. His mother's cooking for him. Said he needs a hometown atmosphere so he can play better. He's playing excellent today.
Terrell Buckley with the 58-yard touchdown punt return. And the Packers are back in the football game again. 12:43 to go. It is 17-10. Terrell Buckley with the first Packer punt return for a touchdown in quite a while. 58 yards off of the Lee Johnson punt. He gets the Packers to within 17-10 and says, yeah, I knew I could do that. Jackie's kickoff is taken short at the 13-yard line. And that is Eric Ball, the up man who has the football, and Ball is across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. And let's take another look, Ahmad.
Terrell Buckley, he may have surprised a lot of people here in this stadium, but he is not surprising himself. He said yesterday, he said, you know what, I'm like 5 players in one. I can do so many things. And here you see him doing one of them. Watch when he gets in the end zone. He is such a showman. He's in for the touchdown, slams the ball down. After this, he comes up and said, all right, ladies and gentlemen, how about it for me? Huh? For me. Thank you. Thank you.
Give it up for Terrell Buckley. So the suddenly rocked Cincinnati Bengals start from their 33, and Fenner gets the call to quiet the crowd a little bit, get a little yardage before Johnny Holland wraps him up for yet another Green Bay tackle.
And Jim, it's just the thing that we were talking about, that you got to stay in contention, stay close enough that you have a chance to win the game. And Buckley has now all of a sudden brought Green Bay up to the point that they have a chance to get back in this football game.
And he's so hot, he's got to cool off. He had to put that hat on and the towel over the hat because he's smoking over there. On second down, Brian Brennan has the catch, and Esiason begins to move the Bengals out of the hammer offense across the 50 to the 49-yard line. Now the coaches will very gently say to him, perhaps, Terrell, you should wait and show the football to the crowd after you cross the goal line rather than 10 or 15 yards into the return. So I'm holding it up with one hand.
I think I don't say anything to him.
Maybe not. Fenner with a pickup of 3 on first down to about the 46-yard line. Matt Brock making the stop. You look at David Shula.
And David Shula's strength, I understand, is his just great organizational skills. They say you could, his practices, they're supposed to be an hour and 15. They are an hour and 15. He has everything laid out, and he's really restored the morale to this football team.
Brian Noble chases Esiason, but Boomer gets it away and throws into the hands of Chuck Cecil. Now, did Cecil come down out of bounds? Yes. But Esiason is hurt. Has the helmet off and is in a supine position. You don't like to see it. Burnell Dent, number 56, and number 90, Tony Bennett, were the 2 pass rushers who were back there ultimately to make contact with Boomer.
Boomer having a lot of time during the course of the day. You see Noble running Boomer down, and just as he lets this ball go, he takes a nice shot right in the solar plexus. I got a feeling that he may have just the wind knocked out of him because he really took a shot.
From Tony Bennett.
Tony Bennett, who wasn't singing.
No, at least for the moment, Ahmad, Tony Bennett leaves Boomer Esiason's heart at the 41-yard line.
That's right.
He took a shot right to the chest.
Now, the Bengals are not exactly loaded in the backup quarterback department. You get number 12, Don Hollis, a third-year player out of Rice with very limited experience. And behind him is David Klingler. Klingler, of course, the multi-million-dollar first-round draft choice out of Houston. Hollis, in his career, has had 55 pass attempts. All of them last year.
One of the things the positive things that if you have to go to Hollis is that they do have that hammer time, that hammer offense where he can rely on his running backs to try to take them down the field. And Boomer's getting up. I think it might have been that he just got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, you saw the coach pointing to the solar plexus. So Boomer may be the second player of the day to have been reacquainted with the location of his solar plexus and its capacity to suddenly remove all air from your system.
One of the worst feelings you could ever have. You would give all the money you own for one little breath of air.
Temporarily.
Temporarily. But it seems so final when it happens.
So Boomer goes to the bench. Hollis comes on and walks into third down, 7 yards to go at the 46-yard line of Green Bay. Pickens to the top of the screen. Brian Noble urging the crowd to get into it now and make some noise on third down. Brennan in motion. Hollis drops straight back. Down the middle, into traffic, good throw, caught and wrapped up for first down yardage by number 82, Rodney Holman, the veteran tight end. 36, Leroy Butler with the stop. Good target to pick out on 3rd and 7.
Don Hollis with an excellent throw, and that was his second receiver. He backed up and looked over to the right, couldn't find the guy, and fired it over the middle as we see Boomer Esiason. Now that he's got a breather, is back in for the Cincinnati Bengals. Hollis did a fine job on that one play.
Hollis says to himself, well, Rodney's double covered, but he's paid to make this catch. I'll put the ball down there. And he got the first down. So now Esiason returns and gives it to Fenner, and Fenner finds running room down the middle across the 30 to the 29-yard line. Johnny Holland with yet another tackle for Green Bay.
And David Shula, this is what we were talking about last night, this hammer offense. When you get a team on the run like this, you got a 7-point lead. What you want to do now is bring in Fenner and Green and just try to keep the ball and just hammer it home. Just keep the ball control with your running backs, run out the clock, and hopefully close out the win.
Well, it looks like somebody has hammered Fenner's calf for the moment.
He's limping a little bit, still walking on it. Always a good sign. The player can get up and still put some weight on one of those limbs, and I think he'll be fine.
He looks all right as he goes off.
We used to call that walking cool.
Walking cool.
That's right. Nice little stride in your walk.
Not walking tough, baby, just walking cool.
That's right.
Second down, 2 yards to go. Make it a short 3 or a long 2. As Harold Green re-enters the game in place of Fenner. Brennan again in motion. Green with the football. Following his blockers and has first down yardage down to the 26-yard line. Matt Brock made the stop for Green Bay. How do you explain the availability of a Derek Fenner, who led the conference in touchdowns 2 years ago as a Plan B free agent?
I think some clashes with the coaching staff up there in Seattle made Fenner available. He was one of the guys who's got a lot of talent, but a few things happened where Fenner was having time being on time for meetings and things like that. But in talking to David Shula, he has been a great player for this team. Really come in with a lot of enthusiasm, happy to be here and playing very well.
And he's 6'3", 228, got some speed and a little wiggle in him. What a find for Cincinnati. Harold Green gets the ball down to the 22-yard line. Of course, we're talking about how good Fenner's been. He can't crack the starting lineup because this guy has been terrific.
Harold Green, an excellent player. And Dave Shula, I wonder if an older coach would have came up with a different name for this offense. Shula, being the young, hip man that he is, comes up with Hammer. I think that's quite appropriate.
Perfect.
Somebody else might have had a Frank Sinatra song or something.
Second down, 7. Esiason with another effective play fake. Throws into the flat, and Ball drops it. Wouldn't have gone for much anyway. Johnny Holland was right there with Eric Ball.
Tough throw. It's hard to catch that ball. You got to get it up where the running back has a chance to catch it and run with it. That ball throwing a lot behind him and a lot low.
Boomer, of course, a broadcaster in his own right.
Boomer Esiason used to boom down the field in earlier years. Now he is digging his way to at least 2 victories, trying to get that third.
The king of the dig. Third down, 6 yards to go for the first down. Need to get the ball to the 15-yard line. There's the offside call that is probably going to turn it into 3rd and 1. Unless the Packers can convince the officials that they were drawn off.
A lot of pressure here on Green Bay. They've still got to play tough because they're still in this football game. They just got to keep Cincinnati from...
Encroachment, defense prior to the snap, number 62, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Keep Cincinnati from scoring a touchdown on this drive, and they can still try to get back and do some damage. Here's a replay. These guys, the play was on 3, they went on 1. Way offsides. I used to hate that. If you're an offensive lineman and the guy on the other side of the ball jumps off sides, that gives the guy in front of you a free chance to just take off on you.
Yeah.
It's like, please yell at me when you're going to jump off sides.
Let me know. Call it 3rd down 2. It's a short 2. Green with the football, pounds inside, may or may not have it. Needing to get close to the 15-yard line. Just outside of it to pick up a first down. Was that Johnny Holland again with the stop? Holland is going to be double figures in tackles today to go with 2 interceptions. He had a total of 4 career interceptions coming into the game.
He'll be scheduling Whirlpool time tomorrow with all those tackles.
And they are short of the first down, so it's going to be 4th down. And Jim Breach will come on to try to hammer this through for Cincinnati. A critical field goal try with 8:16 to go in the game as they try to stretch a touchdown lead to 10 points.
And Boomer wants to get a measurement. Breach not leaving the field, so...
Yeah, because Breach knew.
It's his opportunity to score.
Now, last week, the Bengals twice went for it on 4th and 1 in preserving a long drive that ultimately gave them a 21-14 lead against the Los Angeles Raiders. But this is a different situation.
Yes, here to put 3 points up on the board, gives them a 20-10 lead, then Green Bay would have to score twice in order to get back and to win the football game. This is a good call here by David Shula to go for the 3.
Yeah, this is textbook stuff. And the 34-yard field goal attempt by Jim Breach is true and perfect. So well and truly kicked by Breach. 3 more points for the Bengals. They stretch their lead to 20-10 with 8:05 left. Off the kick by Lee Johnson, number 87, Jonathan Brooks. Or Robert Brooks, I should say, not Jonathan Brooks. Robert Brooks gets it across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. Flags are down as Brett Favre gets a little final instruction from head coach Mike Holmgren of the Packers and gets ready to come onto the field.
Illegal block in the back on the return. Number 38, 10-yard penalty, first down.
After the penalty, the Pack starts deep in its own territory. Favre throws to Sterling Sharp. Did he hold on?
No, I don't think he had the ball as he hit the ground. It's a pretty nice, accurate pass by Favre, but here you see Sterling, just a little slant pattern, gives him a little out move, breaks it into the inside, gets that head turned around, and then just not able to hold on to that ball. I would imagine as these two work more and more together, they will, I think that they'll be quite a duo, because Favre is looking for Sterling Sharp almost on every pass play.
I'm still getting over the Winnebago thing. Somebody call the folks at Winnebago and tell him Ahmad thinks he already owns a plaid shirt. You can find it. On 2nd down and 10, Favre throws in the flat, and Harry Sidney makes the catch and is knocked out of bounds after a gain of about 5. Rod Jones made the hit for the Bengals.
That is a dangerous pass he just threw there, all the way back across the field. If Jones gets up and tries to make a play on there, he has a chance to just run it right back into the end zone.
3rd down 6 now for Green Bay. A lot of people's book on Brett Favre coming out of Southern Mississippi. Great arm, no touch. He'll have plenty to learn.
He seems to be developing some touch here. And in this offense, he's got to have touch. It's not about throwing the ball deep. It's about being accurate.
Favre comes out of there, has first down yardage and more. Cross the 30 to the 35-yard line and gets out of bounds. Crowd will love that. Barney Bussey finally ran him out. Pickup of 21 yards for Brett Favre.
Brett Favre showing some speed. He's quite an athlete, and you brought that up earlier. 6'2", 222 pounds, and a man that can really move around. Here, he finds he doesn't have any receivers deep, so he just tucks it under the arm and takes off running and smartly heading towards that sideline.
Grew up down on the coast of Mississippi.
Brett Lorenzo Favre.
In the swamps and the bayous of southern Mississippi. Hattiesburg is a mecca for athletes like Brett Favre. And on first down from the 35, he flips it across the middle. And Harry Sidney has another first down for Green Bay out to midfield. Kevin Walker made the stop from his inside linebacker position for Cincinnati. And they're still not out of it if they could get a touchdown on this drive.
Quickly, yeah, and you think about the offensive system here of Mike Holmgren, and they've never had a quarterback with a big cannon arm. You think about Joe Montana and Steve Young and Bono also. These guys were all very accurate, so that's the thing that Favre has to do. Not so important to fire it deep, but being able to throw that ball short and accurate, like he did on that last throw.
Favre looking up top to Sharp. This time he's got the touch. Perfect throw, and Sterling Sharp makes the catch in front of Rod Jones. Gets it down to the 17-yard line. A 33-yard pickup. Favre to Sterling Sharp.
We have been talking the whole time about being able to have some touch, being accurate, and Favre lays this ball right out there. Very catchable ball to Sterling Sharp. He's been trying to hit Sharp on that pattern all day. Finally, here in the fourth quarter, they connect on it.
A little touch of chemistry suddenly for the Packers, who, despite the fact that Chris Jackie has missed 2 field goal tries, and despite turnovers and penalties and sputtering on offense and the loss of Mikowski and Favre's entry as the backup quarterback, are still in the game. Favre hits Ed West, and the tight end breaks 1 tackle and falls forward to about the 7-yard line, just short of a first down.
Jim, we have talked about Favre getting better and better and being more and more comfortable in this offense, and I think we're seeing it right here in this drive as you see Favre hit Ed West going back across the green with an excellent pass, very accurate pass, and West doing a heck of a job.
It was Rod Jones who hit West low, and Ricardo McDonald who ultimately wrapped him up. And you make it a first down as West scrambled forward for the first down, so it's first and goal now at the 7. Number 34, Edgar Bennett with the call. And the rookie out of Florida State gets about a yard or two, close to the 5-yard line. Darrell Williams, number 31, the nickelback, making the stop for Cincinnati. Signals from the sidelines going from Ty Detmer to Brett Favre. They are the 2 active quarterbacks now on the Green Bay roster. Mikowski out with a bad ankle sprain, perhaps torn ligaments in the ankle, sustained early in the first half on a hit by Tim Krumrie of the Bengals. Bennett in motion. Favre throws down the middle and has a touchdown with Sterling Sharp. Outstanding second effort by one of the strongest wide receivers in the NFL.
And an outstanding drive by Brett Favre, bringing his team all the way down the field with a lot of big plays. Because we talked about it, you got to make plays in order to keep a drive alive, and Favre actually did that. Also talking about Sterling Sharp's ability to run after the ball. After he catches the ball, watch him catch it here, shakes off a tackler, and gets into the end zone.
He shook off the high tackle by Kevin Walker to fall forward into the end zone. Big drive. There were 2 key plays. Favre's 21-yard scramble on third down and the 33-yard pass to Sterling Sharp. And now Sharp has had the wind knocked out of him, but with Jackie's conversion, it's 20-17 Cincinnati. At Lambeau Field, 4 minutes, 11 seconds remaining. Green Bay, on the strength of Brett Favre's arm and legs, goes 88 yards in 8 plays to narrow the Cincinnati margin to 20-17. Eric Ball takes the kickoff and gets it back to the 20-yard line against pretty effective downfield coverage by the Packers. Tim Houck, number 24, down to make the stop. Houck was the man by whom Carl Pickens blew in the first half as Pickens finished up his 95-yard punt return touchdown. And there's a look at Sterling Sharp shortly after the touchdown.
As you look there, he took quite a pounding on that last touchdown. It's either something on his rib, or you see him messing around with his rib cage, the bottom of the rib cage. Now he's on the bench now, icing it, but he was walking out. He is not finished. He will not leave this football game.
Not after the physical battle into the end zone that gave him the touchdown that paid off that drive. Both teams with 3 timeouts remaining. On first down, Esiason gives to Harold Green. And Green's second effort gets him a first down and 13 yards. What a brilliant run by Harold Green, who quiets a crowd that would have gotten much louder had he been stopped by the initial hit.
That's like that long jump shot that stops the crowd from cheering, wasn't it? I mean, because they had him stopped with no place to go. Just excellent running ability for him to jump outside and get down the field. He's brought down by Matt Brock from the University of Oregon, but a great run to save nothing that Harold Green had.
And Green went over 100 yards with that carry. Now 20 trips, 105 yards in the game for Green. He got away from both Paulk and Brock at the line of scrimmage, and Brock kept chasing all the way downfield. On first down now, Esiason throws. And a perfect throw to number 85, Tim McGee, is another Bengal first down, and McGee does Green Bay a favor by stepping out of bounds to stop the clock.
Now the onus is on Cincinnati to see if they can put this game away. I mean, they are coming into this game, they were the better team, and now they have an opportunity to put this game on ice. But Green Bay is coming back strong. They've been playing hard the entire time, and they're in range, but Cincinnati has a chance to close it out.
Packers have another new acquisition on the field. Danny Noonan, signed away from the Cowboys earlier this week, and the Cowboys let him go, is in at nose guard. Harold Green on first down is met and knocked out of bounds by Paulk and Noble. Robert Brown with the initial hit on Green, and then Paulk and Noble came over to finish him off.
Green Bay trying to preserve the time on the clock, calls a timeout. Noble, one of the more active defenders for Green Bay, always around the tackle.
They were 4-12 last year. Second down now and 13 for Cincinnati, and what a play in the flat by number 36, Leroy Butler, who was there to greet Eric Bull as the ball arrived. And you talked about those Packers who can play. Butler is one of them. Number 2 pick in the draft in 1990 for the Pack out of Florida State. Big play now for both teams. Third down, 13 yards to go. Esiason looking and overthrows Pickens badly. Never a chance for that one. Green Bay forces the punt. And you got 2 things out of that if you're Green Bay. You force the punt, and with Esiason throwing the ball well over his receiver, you stop the clock.
Esiason with a lot of time here just overthrows Carl Pickens. And Green Bay with a fine job of defending, not putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback, but able to play that kind of zone defense back there and keep all the receivers covered.
And you think the crowd's excited? The last time that man touched the football, he went 58 yards for a touchdown.
And it's possible he could do it again. He is Jim Thorpe.
Hey, what would Jim Thorpe have done, right?
Run it back again.
Johnson kicking it toward the sideline. It curls to the middle of the field. Buckley is free again for the moment and now loses the football. Anybody's ball at the 36-yard line. It's going to belong to Cincinnati. And now the coaches have the right to tell him to hold it in both hands, right?
It was exciting. This man, you can't say he is Mr. Excitement. He had a chance to get out of there, but he just didn't cover up the ball enough. And now Green Bay, watch right here, Buckley in a little bit of the crowd now as he tries to break out of it, trying to still get something going. The ball gets popped out. One of the things he's got to realize is look at the clock, look at the situation that his team is in, and the last thing you want to do is give the ball up. You give you a chance. I mean, you just gave your chances to win the game away.
And the guy who caught the touchdown pass that presently stands as part of the difference in the ball game, Eric Ball, is the man who fell on the football and recovered it for Cincinnati. So Ball, having big day, both out of the regular offensive sets and on special teams for the Bengals. Holmgren and David Shula watching. On first down, Derek Fenner pounds for about 5 before Leroy Butler makes the stop for Green Bay.
I've always been impressed by the way Derek Fenner can change directions. He's a big, powerful back, but he's always able to change directions and find those little cracks in the front line.
And now the Packers use one of their timeouts to stop the clock at 3 minutes, 4 seconds remaining. So Green Bay will have 1 timeout left. Green Bay down 17-3, got back in the ball game on a punt return by Terrell Buckley. And now Cincinnati is trying to ice it with the clock running, under 3 minutes to go, and Derek Fenner having plowed forward for a critical Cincinnati first down. And that was big.
And Green Bay calling a timeout here, and it's their last timeout.
Bengals trying for a 3-0 start today. There you saw the precedent. In 1990 they started 3-0 and made the playoffs. Fenner goes forward. In fact, of the handful of teams, only 5 teams in the National Football League started off at 3-0 a year ago. All of them made the playoffs, and 4 of them won their divisions. So it is a bright precedent for the Bengals if they can hang another victory on the board today.
If they hang a victory here on the board today, they have won already. They have already matched their win total from last year. You know, we were talking the other day about assistant coaches as opposed to head coaches. I understand that David Shula is an excellent head coach, a much better head coach than he was an assistant coach because of his organizational facilities.
On second down 4, Fenner gets the call. And now the clock will stop for the 2-minute warning as the Bengals face third down. So with Cincinnati leading 20-17, third down 5 coming up. We'll bring you back in a moment to Green Bay. 2 minutes left in Green Bay. David Shula at age 33 looking for his 3rd NFL win as a head coach. Cincinnati leading 20-17, getting ready to run 3rd and 5 as the Packers try to stave them off one last time and get another chance at having the football. Fenner is going to be hauled down a couple yards short of the first down. Tony Bennett riding Fenner's back to the turf. And now Jim Breach will come on to try to stretch the lead to 23-17 with under 2 minutes remaining. Packers are still going to have a chance, Ahmad.
Jim Breach, one of the more reliable kickers in the league. I remember when he played for I believe he played for the Oakland Raiders. Wait, Breach. A little bit of confusion out there in the field.
Well, Shula may have something up his sleeve here. No timeout has been called. This is an official conference, and now there will be a timeout.
Timeout.
And it's going to be charged
Their
to
second
Cincinnati.
timeout.
So the
This is a
Bengals want time to
40-second
think it over with
timeout.
1:10 left. One-time California Golden Bear, one-time Raider Jim Breach getting ready to try to stretch the Cincinnati margin to 23-17 with the clock stopped. 1:10 remaining in Lambeau Field in Green Bay. And a pitched battle continuing between rookie head coaches David Shula and Mike Holmgren. Breach's numbers on the day, 2 of 2. Remember that Green Bay place kicker Chris Jackie, 78% accurate in his career in the NFL, has missed 2 field goal tries today from makeable distances. Would have helped Green Bay a lot to have those numbers on the board. Breach nails this one. No. Flag down. The kick sailed wide. It hooked dramatically at the end to sail wide of the upright to the left. And the penalty is going to be against Green Bay. This is the kind of thing that will drive a coach nuts.
Snake bit.
If it's against the Green Bay Packers.
We had a false start prior to the snap on the offense, number 60. It is a 5-yard penalty.
Prior to the snap. So therefore, another opportunity for Breach as the play is ruled dead after the false start before the snap.
And you can see that just that little movement that happened inside the line, and Breach misses it A little bit wide to the left.
Breach appeared to have that one nailed down the center, and it hooked at the end to go past the crossbar. Now he gets another chance from 46 yards out. Packer fans are feeling snake bit. Check it, not 46, 41 yards out. Referee Dick Hancock again.
Please reset the clock to 1 minute and 10 seconds. Thank you.
Now Breach from 41. This time it's good. So instead of getting the football back trailing by a field goal, the Packers get it back trailing by 6. They would need the touchdown and the PAT to win.
There's the reprieve here. You don't expect Jim Breach to miss twice in a row, and you see the relief on the face of David Shula as his Cincinnati Bengals are doing what it takes to win this football game.
And I'm a little surprised at the relative calm with which Holmgren and the Green Bay bench accepted the reprieve for Breach and a chance for him to kick the field goal a second time. Bad play. Very bad play by Robert Brooks, who just elected to catch a kick inbounds and then step out of bounds with it at the 8-yard line. If he lets it go, they are in much better field position.
He's a rookie. They got a lot of young players on this team that are going to make some crucial mistakes, and that certainly was one of those.
Well, he's a rookie, but that's a bad play at the University of South Carolina and a bad play in high school and anywhere else he's ever played football, Ahmad.
Nobody's just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I know he's a receiver, and you're trying to help him.
I guess so, but that certainly was a bad move on his part.
That's a bad play in midget football, Ahmad. He's not playing for the first time in his life. 1:07 left. Ball is at the 8-yard line. Here, Brett Favre, you want a challenge? Try this one. And Favre completes on first down to Harry Sidney, who gets a little running room and gets out of bounds to stop the clock. You could see the veteran smarts of Sidney. He knew what to do. Ricardo McDonald ran him out for Cincinnati.
Brett Favre certainly has his work cut out for him today. So does this man, Mike Holmgren, who will be the real architect of this drive, calling all the plays.
Second down, 7 for the Pack. Favre unlooses it and gets it to Sterling Sharp out across midfield to the 46-yard line. Rod Jones making the stop for Southern Methodist. Second big catch of the quarter for Sharp. Clock running. Sharp is hurt.
It's the same injury he had when he scored the touchdown. It's a rib injury. Hard to get his hands up over his head, but he did that to make that last catch.
Over the middle, here comes Workman. And now the Packers must use a timeout. No, they don't have one left. Clock running with the ball at the 35. No timeouts remaining. Favre will stop the clock here, and he does.
Favre with his leading receiver, big play man, Sterling Sharp, holding that rib. Now Sharp is on the sideline. Can't help him there.
So with their best receiver out of the game from the 35, 19 seconds left. Favre pumps, throws, touchdown! Washington State. His first catch of the day. He ran by Rod Jones, who again didn't get help from the safety man. And Brett Favre was right on the money. He pump faked, pushed a blocker out of the way with his hand, and then threw the strike.
This is the most accurate throw on the day by Brett Favre. You see Kitrick Taylor going inside the defender. He's open right there, but you got to thread that needle to get the ball to him, and that's exactly what Brett Favre did. If you get any air into the ball, the safety comes over and knocks it, breaks the play up. But Favre put it right on a line, a perfect pass, a perfect catch by Kitrick Taylor. You see him just put this ball right there. That was excellent throw by Brett Favre, and he knew that he pulled the trigger on that one.
Is there a spark of life in Green Bay?
He's looking for somebody to jump on.
Did Brett Favre wake up an echo or two with that one? Let's see if Chris Jackie can make it pay off. Jackie, who has missed 2 field goals today, now tries to add the extra point out of Favre's hold. Is normal holder Don Majkowski out of the game with the bad ankle, and Jackie knocks it through. And suddenly, Cincinnati finds itself 1 point behind, and Green Bay has the look of a winner with the red-hot gunslinger Brett Favre. That man, Ron Wolf, the general manager, came in and made 2 quick moves last year. He fired Lindy Infante, hired Mike Holmgren, and then sent a first-round draft choice to the Atlanta Falcons to get Brett Favre, number 4. Uncertain as to what Don Majkowski was going to be able to do in Mike Holmgren's new offense.
It's amazing how these looks on these 2 coaches have changed in the last minute and 7 seconds. Brett Favre so excited. 2 touchdowns on the day, 22 for 37, not to mention a few drops that he had.
And of the 289 yards, Ahmad, the majority of it in 2 fourth-quarter drives.
And he just kept getting better and better as this game went on. And to the Cincinnati Bengals could not put this team out of contention. They just kept staying in it, and that's the man that kept them in it, Brett Favre.
The kind of resiliency that Don Majkowski showed for the Packers in '89, Favre has had it today.
He certainly has, because they had a lot of opportunities to just quit, and they didn't.
Clock running now with 11, 10. And ball goes out of bounds to preserve a little time on the clock for Cincinnati. Eric Bull has been everywhere for the Bengals in the 4th quarter, but has not been enough alone to stave off the rally, which was touched off by the 58-yard punt return that Terrell Buckley produced the second time he touched the football in the NFL.
And it really showed something after he fumbled the ball late in the game. It looked like Green Bay was dead, and Green Bay came right back playing hard and played themselves to a 1-point lead with 10 seconds left to go in the game.
And now Buckley goes in as the ultra-deep back in the Green Bay defense, and the crowd stands and roars as Esiason runs out of the pocket, clock ticking down. Boomer stops it with 2 ticks remaining.
The better move is to throw the ball out of bounds. It takes less time to be able to run all the way to the sideline. You waste time on the clock.
All he got was 11 yards. Another first down to go with the bushel of first downs that the Bengals have accumulated today. And David Shula was so close to going 3-0. I almost had him in the playoffs already. Favre gets red hot and lights the place up. Last shot. Boomer airs it out. There'll be a big crowd for this one. And it's over. Yesterday, Mike Holmgren was wondering how long he would have to wait for his first National Football League victory. He may have despaired a little bit today when starting quarterback Don Majkowski went down, but that man that you saw right there a moment ago, Terrell Buckley, he lit the fire, and then Kitrick Taylor caught the winning touchdown pass.
They have got something going here in Green Bay, and they realize with just a few more players, they got a chance to win some football games here.
Veteran Tootie Robbins patting Brett Favre on the head as they walk off after after a victory in Green Bay. 24-23 in a comeback over the Bengals.
Oh, what a turnaround.
A sustained